The Roast Band Networks bring you long-form public affairs programming from Mayflower and Ridgeway and are a public service to all. Roast Band, equal access to government matters.
Yo, why are there cameras all over here, bro? Is this like a competition? I know I am not watching RNN or Palmer Times. They're all fake news. No, I only watch RSpan, the trusted Roblox network. Oh god. Clown honks. We'll continue after, you know what to do after,
I like how he casually walks into the wall.
Oh, hey guys. I think that I am going to get kicked out. So if they tell me to move, we all walk out. Everybody walks out. I am vibing.
I'm walking out if you get kicked out, Rylan.
Yeah, that's my guy right there.
I'd be walking out.
Alright, I'll be doing like the sign language and shit. Like, I'll be talking cause Jahao doesn't talk. He's a little weirdo. I am pleased to welcome to the stage the governor of the... Wait, what? Alright, who's playing that? Turn that off. He's not that guy. Nate Dogg! Nate Dogg!
Assassinate the governor.
Nate Dogg, bark! Bark, Nate Dogg!
Clown, I'm gonna have to mute you here real quick because I do want to start talking. I appreciate the intro music. It's very nice. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining me. I just have a brief statement to deliver. I know that you probably all just want to skip to the questions here, but I will go ahead and deliver my statement. For those of you who are in the Discord audience as well as in the actual in-game audience, you may want to mute me on one end, just because there is a slight delay between the two of them, and it does get a little grating on the ears if you listen to it for too long.
Back, Maurice.
I have long said that it is vitally important for government to listen to its citizens and to do what they want. Ultimately, it is equally important for us to act when presented with a complex problem that affects our entire community, rather than sitting and waiting for an answer to present itself. With this legislation and the issue of gun control in our community, my administration is taking another major step. Over the past few weeks, I've talked with law enforcement and gun rights advocates all across our community. Although their opinions are often quite divided, they all share a common goal: stopping criminals from using high-power weapons to terrorize our communities. It is in that spirit that moments ago, I signed the Gun Rights Act of 2023 into law. The Gun Rights Act, a product of these negotiations and written by my administration, provides for the creation of a firearms license a tier above an RFLID, the Ridgeway State Firearms License. This license, which will be issued by the Ridgeway County Sheriff's Office, will permit citizens to carry a weapon magazine with a capacity greater than 15 rounds. To obtain the license, you must not have committed any violent or gun-related felony offenses, and any commission of these offenses will be grounds for revocation of this license. Any supervisor, as with an RFLID, will be able to request a revocation of the SFL to the Sheriff's Office. Over the next week, the application process will be outlined by the Sheriff's Office following meetings and discussions with its leadership. It is also possible that depending on this license's success rate, it may be folded into the game as a physical card. For now, the Sheriff's Office will maintain a public database of registered holders. Through this program, we are making sure that law-abiding citizens have the right to use these weapons and criminals cannot. I want to thank everyone in this community who voiced their opinions to my office and to the Senate about this important legislation. With this law, we are taking yet another major step towards resolving this issue. I welcome your feedback and ask for your patience as we coordinate the implementation of this law. And now I will take your questions.
Does this mean we can take illegal magazines and stuff now?
If you have a license to, yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
that's
Larg.
cool.
I got a question, Larg.
Yes, Carnage.
So does that mean I can like carry a salami with my goon squad and hunt down criminals with it?
Rylan, I'm gonna have to mute you because I do want to actually listen to what people have to say. Carnage,
Oh
can
yeah.
you repeat
Look
the
at that
question?
Ryland guy. I hate that Ryland
This is.
guy.
Did you say? Was your? I think your question was, does this mean that I can carry with my goon squad, right?
Yes.
Well, if your goon squad's not committing any firearm or violent felonies, yeah, you can.
I
If
mean,
you have
we're
a
all
license.
enforced. I mean, as a whole. So if my teammates all here have the license, are they
If
able
they all
to?
have the license, which would mean that none of them have committed any firearm-related crimes. I mean, really anything like that. That would mean that they're all law-abiding citizens and they should have the right to carry those guns. But if they were to commit a firearm-related felony or any kind of firearm crime, they're going to get those licenses revoked, and that means they're not allowed to carry those guns anymore.
Maurice, do you hear that, man? We get to kill Italians soon.
Probably just won't.
Anti-Semitic, don't be killing the Italian people. Lars, do you
When
really?
do I get
do you
to
This is a
really,
speak?
W for us,
do you really
Maurice.
think it's okay
Can
to
someone
kill,
let
like,
me
these
know
Italian
if
people on purpose with
Rylan
legal mag?
is
You
making
fucking
noise?
suck, dude. You fucking suck. You're.
He is not making
I'm
noise.
not
Noise is
making
right.
noise! Who said I'm making
Now
noise?
he's making noise.
Ryland is
Yeah,
not
you were.
making noise. He's
There's
been really
no
quiet.
doubt about it. I'm just telling you now. Like there was no question about it. You were definitely making noise.
Dude, who?
Rylan said if you don't unmute him, he's gonna shoot you.
I already did.
I didn't say that!
Yes, you might have said it. I was told that Gamma would like to speak in the stage channel. I don't see a request to speak.
Yo, when do I get the podium?
Oh, he unraised his hand. Okay. Is there any other questions?
It's not that good. Nate
I have
Dogg!
a question.
Nate Dogg!
Go ahead, MWM. I do want to actually listen to what people have to say.
Look at that Ryland guy.
Sir, I am a trained medic. Do you
Don't
need
be
any
killing
help?
don't be No,
Probably.
you're reading off my username.
I mean, as a whole.
Yeah, go
Well,
ahead.
Rylan
If your
is
goon
the
squad's not
podium.
committing any
He's
firearm or
asking
violent
if he's gonna
felonies,
get the
yeah,
podium.
you can.
I mean,
What?
Rylan
Dude,
can
shut
probably have
up.
it after I'm done, for sure.
Oh, that's nice. You're so considerate, Mr. Large Titanic.
Thank you.
I
Appreciate
love
your-
you. You're my favorite governor, so far.
Yeah, what's this press release about?
Gun rights.
Large Titanic.
You suck.
Yeah.
Wait, do you
Why
like
did
guns or do you
Osboy just get
dislike
like
guns?
arrested for saying I don't like you? Large Titanic.
I don't know. I didn't even know anybody got arrested for that.
Yo, free Osboy.
You can't get arrested for saying you don't like me.
Dude, that's free speech. What happened to? Where'd he go?
I dislike
I don't know
large.
I don't
Osboy
like.
guy
I don't
is.
like large Titanic.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go
Governor,
ahead.
Mr. Governor.
Are you for or against guns?
What's up? What's up?
I'm against law. I'm against criminals having guns.
up, bro?
I'm for law-abiding citizens having guns.
What's up? Bro?
Excuse me.
You wanna take away my fucking guns? You wanna take away
I don't
my
wanna
He
give
guns?
wants
you your
to,
guns
he wants to like
back.
kiss you, dude.
You wanna
No.
take away my guns?
No, I don't. But I
That
do
man
if
go
you.
shoot him.
But
That man go shoot him.
here's what I'll tell you. Here's what I'll tell you. I want to take away your guns if you're using them to kill people who are innocent civilians. You don't deserve to have weapons.
Okay,
you
what
do
if
that.
the guy trying to break in my house? What if
I have
he
another
was
question,
innocent?
sir. Another question.
He was an innocent
Okay,
person, but
Drow,
he
I
was
need
breaking
to.
into my
I
house.
would. I'm sorry. Just a minute, Drow. Can you mute your audio, please? Because. Well, I guess you don't have to. It's just because everybody can hear my voice twice again. But, yeah, you know what? It's fine. All right. What
Can
was
you
that
repeat
question?
that
Go ahead.
one more
Repeat it.
time about wanting to take the guns?
Who said that?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Are you a proponent of users of medical marijuana having guns?
Probably. I
What about users of alcohol?
No.
I'm
What about
drinking
the,
right now,
uh,
guys.
What
You-
about the elderly
Stop
and the
drinking.
disabled? Like,
He's a
I know
should
physician.
not
some
be
citizens
hammered
that have
while
a
you're,
thing where they could park in, like, the
conducting government
disabled
business. That's
parking.
not good.
This is my
He's a
third
sedition
one.
is.
Could the disabled use firearms? Would you take away their firearms?
If they committed a felony, yes.
Take away Pinky's
Okay,
guns.
okay.
Too unstable.
Here's the deal, guys. This is the bottom line about this new policy. If you are a law-abiding citizen, you get to keep them. Do whatever you want. But the moment you start shooting at people, the moment you start breaking the law, we're taking them away.
What if I
that
have
is
a traffic citation?
you.
I'm
that
sorry.
doesn't
What
matter.
are
You're
you?
gonna-
What are we taking away?
traffic citations don't matter in
Listen,
this
buddy,
particular
we
situation.
don't want you taking
And
away
also,
our business.
non-violent felonies don't matter. For example, if your felony isn't gun related, or it isn't related to you conducting some sort of violent act that would make it seem like you probably shouldn't have weapons, those are not part of this. But the moment that you start doing things that are illegal and that warrant being arrested for a violent or gun related felony, then you no longer are qualified for the license.
You're overstepping.
Anybody else? It's really
Can
quiet
you
in here.
explain-
Usually it
can
is
you
no,
explain
it's
the-
not
I
this
got a
quiet.
question.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So do you think you're gonna get much backlash from these proposed measures?
You know, I don't think so, because this is a compromise.
No, I'm
this
backlashing right now.
legislation is a result of. So I don't know if you guys have been watching the polls that we've been doing on this issue, but this is 50-50. This whole thing, half the community thinks that everybody should be able to use these. Half the community thinks that nobody should be able to use these. So we're just kind of trying to shoot down the middle a little bit here
It's
to make
our-
so that
it's our
make it so
God-given
that
right.
everybody's wishes are considered, and we're actually providing a solution that makes sense and is long term going to be effective for the people in the community. And that basically is making sure that we're meeting on common ground. The common ground between, I think, everybody in the community, except of course the criminals, would be that
Hey, Marius, we got a fire.
when you have law-abiding citizens should be able to use these weapons. Non-law-abiding citizens will not.
Why can't
That's
the
just
criminals
generally how
use the
this works.
firearm?
Oh my
Criminals
God!
should be able to
carnage
use
culture.
guns too.
Guys, when do I get the podium? I have a Q&A.
Oh man, you weren't kidding. Somebody is gonna shoot at me.
What are your thoughts on people who think that felons have gone to jail and therefore already served their service and should have their inalienable
That's kind of
rights
a
back
big
and all
question. I don't really know what do I think about those people.
that? Yeah, I'm just asking your thoughts on that idea.
I think that people who have, are you talking about people that want to go legal that have already been to jail?
Yes.
Well, that's why we have expungements. I would seriously encourage those people to get themselves expunged. If they can't get expunged, I don't pardon people very often. In fact,
would
I
encourage
think
you
I've
to
only
stay
done it
away.
twice. But the more people that we have in the community who are interested in working as hard as they can towards making things better and not just shooting people in game. Not that crime's not important, because it definitely does keep us active, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to people who are looking to become legal, who have not been up until that point, I seriously encourage that. I think the expungement tool is one of the best things that we have.
Okay,
in the
tell 'em-
community.
What about
Say,
people
Mark,
without
what-
the means to expunge?
People without the means to expunge. What do you mean by that?
Doesn't expungement costs money, right?
I'm not exactly familiar with that. I believe it might. I think there's a filing fee. I don't remember exactly how much it is, if I'm being
So
honest with
what
you.
about the people without
So
the
you want
means
your-
to
you
get that
want
money? Would you
crime to
be
stop,
willing
but
to
you're
take
making
on
them pay
a loan
to go legal.
service to help these people
That's a good
go
idea.
from illegal to legal?
I'll be honest with you, Dev. I hadn't really thought of that. I think that actually is a decent idea. I didn't realize that I know that there is a filing fee, but I didn't. I guess my question is there a proportion of the community that wants to expunge but can't because they can't afford it? That would be something that I would look into, and if the answer to that question is yes, then absolutely we should do that. The only other problem that I'm seeing just from thinking about it at the current moment is that we don't actually have a government checking account, for example. All we have is our personal cash. So, in terms of mine, I mean, I would be willing to use mine, but I don't know that we would have more than 5K. You know what I'm saying? But
Right. Would you be willing to contract with a business to make this happen?
I don't think so. Not right now. I wouldn't, unless there was something that was very clearly established already and being able to do this. I don't think I would do that at the current stage, because we don't really have stuff like banks, or the financial system really does need a little bit of work. It kind of doesn't exist in a certain sense. We don't really have the economy system that I wish we did, but that kind of gets into a little bit of a development sort of thing. But that, I mean, contracting with a business certainly is an option. I won't say it's out of the question, for sure.
And one last question.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on cane farmers to being able to protect their crops?
That's a good question. I think that the laws that we have now, there is the notion of castle doctrine. However, I think that you'd probably still get arrested if somebody came and trampled on your crops and you shot them. I
That
don't
certainly
know if
seems
that
like something you need to fix.
potentially, there might be some room there for legislation to sort of allow for a little bit more of defense. However, I don't really think that it's a good idea to just blanketly legalize murder if you stomp on crops. I think that that's not realistic and that's not how it works in real life. I definitely think that we can do some a little bit more to make it illegal to trample people's crops if they're on their property and stuff like that.
We need to protect our farmers. They're the backbone of this
I
community.
agree. I agree. One of the reasons why I think that sugarcane farming is so cool is because it's sort of opening the door, if you know what I'm saying, to an economy system that we don't really have. And I want to, as long as I'm around here, hopefully longer, but as long as I'm around for now, I want to do whatever we can to expand on that, which is why my administration said we were not illegalizing sugarcane. We kept it legal, 100%.
Yo, can we let
That's one of the
306
reasons
Brown
why.
speak
It's
now?
because we want the economy to grow. We want
Yeah,
this
I
to
got some
expand.
questions for that guy in the back.
All right, thank you.
What about the fact that sugarcane's a gateway
Hang
drug?
on a minute. I just want to say for one thing real quick. Dev, thank you very much for your questions. Those are the kind that I like. I appreciate those questions because they make me think about stuff. So thank you for that.
You're welcome. Can somebody
I
invite
think
me
it was-
to the Ridgeway Discord?
You're not in there? That's
It's
weird.
literally discord.gg/Ridgeway.
Oh, okay.
Blue
cool, I'll
Percival,
join.
what's your question? I like your outfit.
What is your opinion on the fact that sugarcane is a gateway drug?
I don't believe it is.
No, those are lies.
What if I told
I
you
gotta-
that fact
Can we
checkers
get
say it
Wyron up
is?
on the podium now? I have
Those
some
fact
questions
checkers
for
would be
him.
who exactly?
Truth.
The people. Also,
Blue.
could
Yo,
you
Wyron,
get,
okay.
could
Did you know that you
could
sound
give
like
me-
Nate Dogg? I swear to God, I thought it was Nate.
What you mean by that?
You sound like Nate.
That's kind of racist.
Nate who?
That's kind of
Nate who?
racist. You're kind of generalizing.
Nate Poggers.
But I mean, another
who's
question.
saying-
Can you
Coxie,
repeat
go
that
ahead.
thing about you're gonna take the guns? Just that
I'm
one
gonna
statement.
take the guns if you're shooting people with them. For sure, I am.
Alright,
What if you
thank you,
legally
sir.
shoot someone with it and you're
Well,
involved
then-
in a case?
then it's legal.
Can you
So
say it
it's-
like I will
But-
take
but-
your
but-
gun?
What if you have to?
Hang
what
on. Hey, Dev, can I just take Toxies real quick and then I'll come to you?
Sorry.
Is this new license going to have developer support to implement in a physical license in the game? Toxie, that's an excellent question. I was told. I've been talking about this with Arium and a few other people from the development side of things. And one thing that we did that I was told is that that's
Right,
definitely a
that'd be your first
possibility.
question.
I did mention that in my statement. That I think that it will depend on how successful that this trial run is. If we end up getting a significant reduction or an actual resolution to the issue, rather than just making them illegal or legal, which is what we've done up until this point. Hang on just a minute. Is Toxie? Damn it! You're the only cop in the room. Can you get these people off the stage who aren't supposed to be here, please?
Don't worry, Blue Bird can take care of it. Get the fuck out of the day.
I have a press pass. I'm supposed to be here.
Alright, Large.
You can be here if you just don't be up here. Just go sit down where you're supposed to be, because
Mr. Governor.
it
question,
makes it look
please.
unorganized. Just to tell you guys, okay?
We don't really give a fuck if it was organized. Just
Well, I don't know why you're here then.
Mr. Governor, question, please.
I'm
please.
here
Yes.
to oppose you
so
taking our
let's
fucking gun.
let's say that you shoot someone in self-defense, right? And let's just say, for the sake of argument, that you go through a long court case, right?
It's
and
really
let's just-
hard to answer hypotheticals, man.
Okay, well, I'm just saying this for the sake of argument, all right? But
Okay.
you'll understand the question more thoroughly once I'm finished. So for the sake of argument, let's say at the outcome of the case is not guilty or whatever. Like the person doesn't
Okay.
go to jail, right? So let's say that during the court process, is that person's access to guns going to be restricted?
I have no idea. Just for the simple reason that Um, that's a good question. I'm trying to think. That's something that we probably haven't ironed out quite yet. My initial answer to you is no, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to foresee everything that might happen because of this. I would say that mistakes being made on that is probably possible. I want to do everything we can to avoid them before they happen. But I think that one of the things that definitely could happen, just based on how this has worked in the past and how the current arrest system and everything else works. Like, for example, I mean, when you get arrested for anything that's already on your record and it adds in the current state that the law is now, that would then be grounds for the revocation of your license.
Even
So,
for misdemeanors.
well, misdemeanors are not relevant to the license.
Okay.
So it wouldn't matter. I'm talking, just to remind everybody, the only thing that matters to the license is a violent or gun-related felony. If it's not even if it's a felony, if it's not violent or gun-related, the license is not
Apologies,
revoked.
you said arrested. That's a very broad term.
Oh,
Governor.
I apologize. I'm talking, if you were arrested for a violent or gun-related felony, yeah.
I see.
But I was just kind of expanding a little bit further on the question that you asked, which was that, let's say that you were arrested for a violent or gun-related felony. Is your access to those weapons going to be suspended during that time? And I think that the answer to that question is probably yes, just because of the way that the system currently works. I don't know if that's the right way to do it. I also don't know if there's a better way. There probably is somewhere that we can work on, but at the current moment, you would be arrested for that felony. Somebody would put the request in at the sheriff's office to have your license revoked. It would probably get revoked, and then if a court were to... This is the unfortunate part about our
So do you not
legal
believe
system
in
in a certain sense.
the concept of innocent until proven guilty? Or,
Yeah,
just-
that's the problem around here, because it kind of isn't that way, you know what I'm saying? Because you get arrested for this crime, you know, and for the vast majority of people who get booked, you don't go before a court unless you speak up.
But what
You know
about
what I
the
mean?
outliers? Are we gonna leave them behind?
I think that the scope of your question is a little bit larger than you think. I don't know if... I think you're talking about how do we make the legal system work better, and I definitely think that there's room to do that, but in a certain sense, there's also a development side to it that we can't control. You know what I
Can
mean?
someone else speak now?
Austin, you can go ahead if you have an actual question, and you're not here to just tell me that I suck.
If I killed you right now, like, could I go buy a gun?
Probably not. There's always the
See,
chance that the police officer that arrested you
That's
was
it.
negligent.
That's the issue. That's the issue.
What, that you can't
should
murder
be ab-
people?
I should
It's
be able-
against the law, my
No,
friend.
owning a gun is a God-given right. Okay?
Not when you use it to murder innocent people.
You're not innocent. You're far from innocent, buddy.
Can I? Are no one's allowed to vote?
Yeah, I'd have to go look. I don't remember.
I want a legislative point of view from this.
Interesting.
Alright. Let's be...
It's very true that
Legislative.
you press gun rights.
Press gun rights. What would the press do with the ability to have a gun, regardless of
Press.
situation?
Oh, press.
I think the way the law previously was absolutely oppressed gun rights. I don't think it does now. I think this law releases a lot of those restrictions, because a lot of the people... I think that something that people don't often consider when it comes to this situation is that a lot of the people who want to have these guns oftentimes are going to want to do, you know, illegal things with them, which if they do, it's against the law. They're going to get their license revoked. But I do think that there is people who want to use them for recreational purposes and just want to possess the guns because they want them, which is perfectly fine as long as you're not breaking the law. If you get what
I have
if
a
you-
question, Large Titanic.
Go right ahead.
What are your opinions on cameras in the court?
Cameras in the court. That's something for the court to comment on. I have no idea. In terms of my opinion on it, I can't Obviously, it's nowhere even near my decision because the courts are a different branch. But I would say, I mean, if I was a judge, I'd be okay with it. But again, it's up to them, not me. Viper, do you have a question? I'm sorry if I've been ignoring you. I don't mean to.
I would like a legislative point of view.
Viper,
on the,
do you have a question?
thing.
I have another question.
Okay. Can I go to Toxie first for just
Yes,
a minute? I
yes,
didn't
of
get to.
course.
I actually interrupted him when I was
You're good.
telling people to get off the stage.
Go ahead.
I feel that going to the database and back to. I agree, 100%. I think that for right now, I think that it's good to have a trial run of this and to just see how it will work. I definitely do think, though, that having
quiet down,
developer
Osborne.
support and
Zero,
having a physical
Alfred.
card like the
Not
RFLID
playtime.
Would you say I'm
would be
W and
great.
WMW?
Said this
I
is a
think that's
press
definitely a
conference,
major
not a damn
possibility, and
playtime.
honestly, it's
This is
probably the
recess,
route that we're
Osborne.
going to take. But for now, this is what I'd like to
Buddy.
try. If this ends up not working, we can go back to the drawing board and figure something else out better. But this, I feel that this is a good second step in this process. And Dev, you can go ahead now.
All right. So, acknowledging the fact that you said there are pretty much two sides of this, and we're making a compromise. This
That
is
is
kind of a
true.
two-part question. I'd like to know which side are you on those two sides that you said before, and also what are your thoughts on the fact that criminals are
What
gonna
is
get
Rylan
regardless of,
doing back there?
regardless of
Rylan, what are you
doing?
doing?
Because criminals.
I
the hell?
apologize. The second part of your question got interrupted. Will you repeat that
Yes.
for me?
So
Yo, can you like stop entertaining this guy?
All right, Oz, I'm gonna
I
have
wanna
to
hear
mute you
306
because you're
Rylan's
not
opinion.
adding to the conversation at all. I'm sorry.
All right.
You're
So
just not.
so the second part
I
of
have
the
a
question
question.
was the second part of the question was
Yo, what's your
so
question, dude?
what do you think about the fact that criminals are going to be able to obtain these guns through illegal means?
Criminals
I mean,
can
they're
take,
not
like,
legal
any
guns
auto guns they
obviously,
want.
but illegal guns.
Yeah, so let me answer the first part of your question first, which was what side am I on? So what I said when I first signed this law is that I didn't want to pick a side, honestly, because having never owned these weapons myself, having never used them myself, because I'm not allowed to possess them, and I've been governor since they were created. But what I wanted to do in this situation was find the best solution that worked for most people, is what I wanted to do, because I enjoy using guns, but I also want to protect people from excessive amounts of violence and being just shot off the street because it's perfectly legal for someone to walk around with an automatic firearm so long as they haven't done anything with it yet. That's what I'm thinking, is my thoughts on it. And now the second part of your question, which was what do I think about the fact that criminals are going to be able to buy these guns in illegal fashion? I would say that that's always been a thing, and there's nothing we can do about that. I would say that the best thing that we can do is try to make it so that the government is not hurting people who don't deserve it, and people who are law-abiding and want to use these weapons in a legal fashion. Those people should be allowed to have them. We can't stop the illegal dealer from existing. It is it is a developer oversight thing.
I have
I hope that answers your question. I don't want to repeat myself too many times.
I have a
Yeah,
question
yeah,
that's been sitting in me.
I have
just
a,
one
I
more-
actually have a
Comrade.
One more little thing.
I have a bunch of questions.
I
One more
was
little
waiting
thing.
for me to
Do you
speak.
think that this will reduce gun crime?
Hell
I don't know.
no.
I hope so.
Okay. That's all.
Okay.
Uh,
my first
no, I
question
have a-
is-
Can we go to Comrade and then Os, and then we'll come up stage.
All right.
Carlos has
Do
a
you
question
believe that
too,
there is a
Democrat.
difference between gun control and gun regulation?
No.
fucking fascist.
All right.
Amy Coney bullshit.
I think that gun control and gun regulation ends up being just ways that politicians try to avoid citizens being mad at them. I don't really think you can do that. I think you have to be honest and just tell people the facts of what's going on. And I hope that I'm doing a good job of that. Obviously, if I'm not, then the election is coming up and you vote for somebody else. But I hope that I'm doing the best
just
that I
wanted
can to
say,
be as
just
honest as possible.
Before I'm done, why do you always entice us with wonderful things like expungement reform, but that can only happen if you get reelected. It seems
I
like
don't
you're
think I ever
dangling
promised
it.
expungement
Damn, you're getting
reform.
packed by a little kid large, bro. Oh my.
Like you're dangling in front of us, like those fishing
Comrade,
rods
I
in
never promised
Minecraft.
it.
It's very
Comrade,
frustrating.
this is the, excuse me, Comrade, this is the first I'm hearing of expungement reform.
I feel
What are you
like
talking about?
expungement right now is
I think he's
fucking
referring
bullshit.
to your
Because the
earlier
thing
comment.
is, you have to
Oh,
wait
hang on,
45
can I interrupt you for a
real-life
minute?
days.
I want to, hang on, Conrad, I want to swear on here too, but I really don't want you to get banned, alright? Because there's snitches around here. Just be careful, okay?
Well, actually,
I've
you
had a
don't. You
lot of
can't
friends
get
that
banned
have-
off Roblox. It's perfectly
Yeah,
compliant
just-
with TOS.
No, I know, but I'm saying Roblox records everything until someone reports it. So just be careful, because I've been warned before for saying that kind of stuff. But anyway,
Oh,
I think that's
I'm not scared of Roblox.
me neither. Well, anyway, I think that you raise a really good point, but I want to know how. I want to know from you how you think expungements are bad right now, because I've never heard this from you before.
Because the thing is, with expungements, 45 days, which is in real life, for a Roblox game is pretty absurd. When you think about it, what if someone decides they want to change their life around from crime one day, but then they want to get expunged, right? But
Yeah.
then they drive a little too fast, and this cop who's pretty picky about the speed limit gives them a citation. Now they have to wait 45 days again, and the cycle repeats. So now they'll start getting frustrated with the law, and then
You're
they
right.
might just turn back to crime again.
You're right. That is unfair. We should do something about that. I don't know what. But we should.
The
I
guy
think
has
that
no answers for anything.
it might be useful to
agreeing
do
with
something
me, but
like.
are you going to
I
take
think that it-
action? That is the question.
Comrade, I think it might be useful to do. Maybe we can reduce the number of days that you have to wait. I would say that's one idea that just comes to my mind right now.
Large
But
was a
another
bad
thing
vice
too, other
president.
than
What makes you
reducing
think
the
he's a
days,
good governor
You
for
should
Ridgeway?
also
We can
find a way to
Large-
make
large-
citations not
Large was a
impacted by
bad
Anybody
vice
who's gonna
president
sit
for
up
Newsom.
here
What makes you
and
think
interrupt
he's a good governor?
We need violence.
This guy was the worst
Anybody
vice president
who's
of
gonna
Newsom.
sit up here and interrupt me, or interrupt people
Sit-
who are asking questions.
down.
All right, but
we're
I
not
have a
welcome.
question. I have a question. I have a question.
Giant, I don't know why you keep talking about my vice presidency, which was 4 years ago.
You've done okay, but you did nothing when you were vice president Newsom. So like, and you've done nothing as
I don't want
governor
to hear
for.
about it anymore.
Okay, but you've done nothing though.
I don't want to hear about it.
But you did nothing as vice
In
president.
Ridgeway, we've done
I believe
tons of
you
Yeah,
stuff.
you're as useless as your current position right now. I'm not gonna lie.
What
Okay,
do you mean
I'm
by
not taking
that?
any.
What do you mean by that?
I'm not gonna talk about that anymore. That's not true at all.
I
All right,
believe
all right.
it's
So
like-
answer my question. I feel like ever since you got into office, you've killed like the crime community. That's what I feel like.
I don't think so.
Your crime plays a big part in this community.
And crime does play a big part because without crime, the game's not going to be active at all. Nobody wants a bunch of retarded
I
cops
agree,
role
but
playing
something that I
all
said
day.
when I was running is that the health of the crime community isn't the government's job and never will be. It's developer oversight's job only. Because crime is crime is a development aspect of the game. It's
That's
not.
not- that's not
the
true.
government is
That's
not going to
not
come
true.
around and endorse that crime exists. That's completely FRP. Completely. Completely. There's no way that the government's going to come forward and say we support people breaking the law. No, we don't.
I want to hear Comrade's take on this. Mr. Comrade, what do you think?
Large Titanic, I believe
What do
you
you
said I
mean?
was
What do you
next
mean,
to
Norman?
ask
Yeah,
questions.
I'm sorry, Os, go ahead.
Okay, first of all, if you want to get rid of illegal guns, why don't you just get rid of that illegal gun dealer over by that?
Because we can't.
Why don't you-
Tear it down.
So,
Tear it
something,
down.
something that everybody here, especially you, Jion, who was just talking about this, we can't get rid of the illegal dealer, no matter what we do. It's always going to be there. The government cannot get rid of it. It is a development aspect thing. Crime is a developer.
What if we put units on it
Well, to be honest, you
24/7?
just sound like a puppet, bro. You just
Okay.
sound like you're a puppet of the Ridgeway elites, to be honest. That's
I have a
what
second.
it sounds like you are.
Do you plan to legalize THC carts?
What's
What?
THC? Well, I know
He's
what it
talking
is,
about
but
drugs.
what
He's
is it?
talking about
Medical-
drugs.
do you plan
He's
to
making
legalize
marijuana
medical
and
marijuana?
drugs. Drugs are
Sugar
legal.
cane
Already
carts.
in the game. If it was in the game,
Do not legalize marijuana.
it probably would
inside of
already
stores.
be illegal. I don't know. I don't know. It's not in the game. I don't really.
Yo, when do
Okay, so I have a question. If you can't promote crime, why don't you guys open more business jobs like Boulder County?
Because in the certain
Like
aspect
Boulder,
of
they gotta have players to have
Okay,
businesses.
I don't accept accept the premise of your question, number one, because we're not working against businesses opening jobs. It's one of the reasons why any sort of laws that the Senate has proposed to make it harder for businesses to open up shop, I have not supported. But when it comes to making it easier for businesses to apply, it's as easy as it's ever been right now. You can open a business quite easily. The Secretary of State's office will pick up the phone right away.
Get back.
But
I mean, of course.
are you talking,
I
Giant?
mean, now
wonder-
they will.
Like, I am trying to dance a little bit here, like, find a good song.
Present a decent idea to Square and to the development team, and say this is what I think that we should do. And I've been able to get them to agree
Would that be
before,
better?
but honestly, it's not a black and white issue. They don't do everything that everyone
Bro,
says.
let him go.
Ultimately,
He's
it's
pressed.
Square's
He
really
can go
wants
to
to
the hearing.
comprehend
You're
what he wants.
stupid.
But it is up to him what he wants to do. But I
Hey,
can
I have a
certainly push
question.
ideas.
Alright, I got the second part of my question.
Is Ridgeway for sale? Is Ridgeway for sale?
No,
the
it is not.
The second part of
Because
my
a
question.
rich guy like me could buy Ridgeway, you know?
Okay,
I want to buy
somebody-
Ridgeway.
Yo, Gian, can you give me some
somebody,
limited to
somebody in
gamble,
chat,
please? I have a crippling
asked a
gambling
question,
addiction. I
in
need
the
to flip.
Discord general, and I
Please,
figured
Gian.
I'd ask you, do you support the idea?
Gian, I need to flip.
I'll tell you this, because I don't want to go down this rabbit hole of bringing. I'll tell you that I don't want to bring real life politics into this even a little bit. So what I'll
So you're
tell you
saying
is the
marriage is
government
not
has my administration, no plans to make any laws regarding marriage at any time in the foreseeable future.
Alright, thank you.
Yo,
Yo, it's hump
How do you
day.
feel about the George
Hey,
Floyd
I
incident
need you
that
to
happened
do
a couple
Hey,
days
insert.
tag
How you
3
doing?
big ass niggas. I mean, it's tweet right here.
Oh shit.
I need some more niggas.
Yo,
that
Ryan, can I
fuck
sit
that
next to
nut
you?
kinda quick.
Yeah, come sit up next to
Insert,
me.
don't get banned, man.
Alright, Ryan, I'm coming up.
Yeah, you come sit
I'm
up.
playing whatever that
Alright,
is.
alright.
Somebody's gonna record it.
The big C.
Yo,
That's
yo,
dancing.
Gian, bro, I'll let you have the pass. Oh, get this ape
Insert,
off
you
of
wanna
me,
talk
get that
here?
ape off of me. He just assaulted me.
He's
Send
way
him to
here.
jail. Send him to damn jail. He just put his hands on me and he's a monkey.
Let me go.
Put him in jail.
Oh my god.
Hey, insert, we're having a press conference. You got a question for us?
Honestly, dude.
I signed the bill and the gun rights. It makes it
I
so
let
that you
her
can
up
have
here.
a
I let him
license
up here,
to
mommy.
have
Mommy, I let him up here.
weapons
Mommy,
that
let
are
him up here.
that have a
Dude, oh
magazine
my
that's
God.
greater than 15.
That is not 3 seconds. That is much less
don't
than
let
3
him
And I
seconds.
do
run
believe
Count again.
that it's very potentially Jetpack standing in front of me.
That was not 3 seconds.
Trespass. Hey.
I have a question.
Oh my God!
Yes,
Shut
comrade.
up!
What's your opinion on making square rails have more trackage inside of the
Bro,
state
get
of
some
Ridgeway?
bitches! Stop playing this game, you loser!
So, do you want me to
Oh,
actually
God,
like
I'm
talk
getting my
about
best
the
mistake.
development aspect of the trains? Because I do know a little bit about it.
I'm busted.
Yes,
I'm
please. I love trains so much.
Whoever is making moaning noises, neither the time nor place.
Busted.
So the problem with the trains is that they do drag a little bit on performance. Square actually really enjoys trains a lot and was planning on putting a great deal more of them into the state, but
Well, maybe if
they're
they
just
weren't made
such
out
a
of
drag on
8,000
performance
unions,
in
they
the
wouldn't
game.
lag.
He's already trying as best that he can to maintain the level of performance that it is now as we build Milton and as we get ready to expand into that. So
Why is Square
unfortunately,
acting
I
like
think
no
the answer to your
McDougal?
question is probably no,
trains
but
because he's like
I'm always
retarded. He loves trains.
that we- that
Can
we're
you
gonna
tell
have
Square to actually
Rylan,
no,
you
never
can
mind.
talk anytime
Could you
you
tell
want.
Square to
I'm
not
not
act
muted.
like
I was
Noah
about to say,
McDougal? Did you tell that?
New rail crossing bells are probably
What
gonna
the
be.
fuck? How did he
Yeah,
do
you
that?
should.
Okay, new
Hold
rail
on.
crossing bells are probably gonna be added to Ridgeway.
Alright.
I'm gonna tell you that. I finally convinced Square to add new cool railroad crossing bells other than
That's
those
great. Can you
electronic
not stand
bells.
up here though? I'm trying to finish up.
Dude, no
I'm
one
trying to
cares
prevent you
about
from
your
getting assassinated.
special. No one cares about like your retard railroad crossings.
Rylan,
God
talk
damn.
anytime you
I
want.
love trains, bro.
The
twin
Special,
Bro, you have me muted.
No, I don't.
Oh, hey. Alright, Squarehead
Don't
dude,
stand
you
there.
know. Oh, my bad, my fault.
Thank
Original gangster. Squarehead dude will not be doing development because he is focused on a Mayflower remade, and he's a
No, he's
loser
not.
alongside Noah
That's
McDougal,
complete crap.
and they non-stop
That's
grind
true,
this
true.
game because it's money hungry
Literally.
game, and this game has zero players all the
Okay,
time,
I am
so
muting
Square
you
just
now because
focuses
you're
on
filling
money,
everybody full
and
of
Square's a
crap.
loser, and he likes playing games all the
Shut
time.
up, Large. No
He's
one
filling
likes you.
over
Yeah,
full
so
of
are
crap.
all of you. I'm just saying.
Can I
Yo,
talk?
like,
Can I have my
can you
speech
be
yet?
heard? Can you let
Why the
3
hell
6
do-
silence?
Why the hell are you mad because people like to play video games when that's exactly
And
what
you are
you're
not
doing
one of the
right now?
fun like
Can I
state game
speak?
players. You are not.
We're not 20-year-old.
I don't see the problem here. Okay. Any other questions? Toxie,
Yes.
go ahead.
Yeah, we don't. I have a question. Can you shut the fuck up so we can listen to 306 Rylan speak?
These weapons that you are allowing are obtained in an illegal way. You're planning on changing the illegal dealer? No, we're not.
This
Yo,
is how
let
all
306
this
Rylan talk. Let me have a
I've said this 1,000
statement.
times.
Let
Toxic.
the
I will
brother
answer
talk.
questions. Alright,
I have
since
one
Large
more
has been
question.
muted,
I'm gonna
answer
take
questions.
2 more because it's getting to be about an hour since we
Answer
started.
questions.
Rylan,
I have
what-
one more
Yeah,
question.
Ultra, I got you.
Do you like that?
Adore QBL.
Alright, so like, what happens when a BA op shooter pulls up on the block?
I don't know. I don't play this game. Next
I
question.
think that Medina.
What
faced a
happens
lot
when
of
an AFI
challenges
op shooter
in his
pulls up
time,
on the block?
unfortunately,
I don't know what that
because
means.
he
Next
has the boulder.
question.
What happens when a 3A op shooter pulls up
Which
on the
really
block?
sucks.
Yeah, Dev, you got a question? What's your question?
Then he,
Yep,
I
yep,
think that
what
he
is it?
sort of set precedent that what the governor
Hey,
was
Dev,
doing.
what's the question?
Didn't
What
really
happens
matter
when
that
a
much. He had
3A
a lot
op shooter
of
pulls up on the block?
times where
I don't know
it
what that
ended up
means.
looking
Next
like
question.
anyway that the
What
governor
happens
got
Get
when
away
this
a
monkey out of my
SDM
chair!
What happens when an SDM op shooter pulls up on the block?
Get this monkey! Arrest him!
really
Oh my
hard on the
God.
government. It was really hard on the government, and what
This
that
is a
ended up
message
meaning
to
was that
Wandale
stuff that Medina wanted to do was
Oh
not
my god, is that
always
Daniel
allowed.
Larson? Is that Daniel Larson?
So,
Oh my gosh,
that's
Daniel
not
Larson
entirely.
is
Insert, is
crazy.
that Daniel
I would
Larson?
say it's about
Holy
half
shit.
and half, because
Is that Daniel Larson?
at the
I
same
haven't heard
time,
that guy in so long.
he
I thought
wanted
he
to
just
do a lot
died.
more than he
Dude, I
could.
missed
But
it.
Daniel
on
Larson
the
has
other hand,
scabies.
DO was,
You are a
came
bitch.
down on him quite a lot.
The statement,
Oh,
like when you like,
Nicker.
went in front of camera and started
Other
talking
than
Oh my
and
god,
shit.
I already
previous
went
people
through
that
it.
this
You
job
think I'm
has done
stupid enough?
as county
Like,
executive
I know
and also
exactly
as
what the
governor, for
fuck you're
example,
talking about.
like the governor used to be able to go on RNG team until Matrix abused that privilege.
Do you like cats?
I got a question here.
Rylan, I'm just gonna let you know right now, and this is a ground rule. When I schedule a press conference, you do not get to come in here and take it over. You can
No
do yours
one
when I am
cares.
Do you like cats?
All right, get out. I'm done talking.
Governor?
Get out. Seriously.
Governor Large?
Dude,
Do you like
Thursdays will
cats?
be so much more fun than having you. Oh my god.
Question?
Did somebody ask me if I like cats?
Hold on here.
Question?
Yes.
Question here?
I do like cats.
Mr.
Why do all
Large,
the
did-
cops go
Um,
on a serious
yeah,
face?
I'm
Like,
gonna
is
go
that
with
part of the
that.
uniform regulation? I was just retarded.
I think it was
Do you have a question, Ultra Builder?
Yes. What happens when the VA option is on the block?
The option is, no, let me definitely, just a new
place for that.
No,
Alright,
firearm,
what happens when the 3A option is pulled on the block?
with this new firearm, the firearms will be erased, and hopefully be able to
Insert, you
report
need
it
to
back
keep your pants on, man. I'm telling you, this is a public event.
Take it away. Do you have any other
Alright,
questions?
what happens when the SGM op shooters pull up on the block?
That's not an option. They'll be dealt with in a quick and timely manner with the sheriff's office.
They're probably never gonna be
What happens when the evil AFI option is pulled up on the block?
Evil
Like the
AFI,
evil ones?
Yeah,
Do you know who Evil Hans Boy 777 is?
They're probably gonna stay illegal at the current stage. Unfortunately.
Wait, what's illegal? Because I'm out of the loop right now.
Val,
Gotta
you can
love
go
those
ahead.
ballet lessons.
Can I? Do you mind? Just because I know that you're gonna have a two-partner, can I go to R-Span here just for a minute?
En route to your house.
Who was the one from R-Span that had a question?
Quandale Dingle,
Hey,
please
Stanley,
fuck off. You're a character that I made up and you're sending us threats,
All right, now.
which means you're impersonating. This is a message to Quandale Dingle.
Okay. Well, let me just clarify a little bit.
Isn't this like Mayflower where automatic weapons are like already illegal though?
About a month ago,
He scheduled this press conference. Stop trying to take it over.
I signed a bill into law that completely illegalized these weapons. Completely.
Okay,
This
so
bill
like people don't shoot you anymore, but they still
Legalizes
do.
them
As
as
long
long
as
as
they
you
buy
have
it.
applied
This
for a
is just a
license in the
useless
sheriff's
law.
office, and you get that
He
license
handed
if
it
you
down.
have committed a violent or gun-related felony.
Do you think
Anyway,
I'm stupid enough? Like, I know exactly what the fuck you're talking about. Your name is Nick.
Shut up, Stanley. You gotta shut up, dude. Yo, Carlos.
Well,
Carlos.
Unfortunately, anything that
Yo,
you're
Carlos,
talking about has
put it
already
together.
happened, because it has been illegal to possess these guns for probably 3 weeks. So in terms of that, this particular bill that we're signing is not going to have any effect on that.
Didn't you just say you
because
just
that
put this
already
into law
happened.
though?
What
Like
is
you
going to
just said
happen
you
now
did.
is that
You're
the
kind of
sheriff's
contradicting
office is going
yourself.
to end up releasing an
You
application
need to keep your
process
story
to get
straight.
these licenses so that you can now possess these guns again. Dev, let's go to you.
All right, so this
Yo,
is the
Stanley,
next
what's
two-parter,
up?
all right? So, the first part, I wanted to ask, how long is there like a
buddy.
wait time? So, I haven't read your law yet, but I saw your reiterating what you just said. You said you have to apply through the sheriff's office to get this license. How soon do you have to do that? Is there a carryover period from right now for a certain amount of days?
The grace
Before you have to
period is
get it?
going to be from now until the sheriff's office is actively accepting applications for these licenses.
Is there any estimated time on that?
Probably no more than a week.
Okay, and my second question, would you support talking to developers about new crops, maybe even illegal and or lucrative
Yes.
crops?
I would.
All right, thank you.
Large, I have a question. I have a question.
Go. Oh, you're back, Ryan. What's up?
Why did you kick me from the game, Large Titanic?
I didn't kick you from the game. Somebody else did.
Dude,
Yo,
this
I have
is
a
false
question,
moderation.
Large.
It must have been Drow. He's the only other. Or Gemma. Gemma's in game, right?
This
No,
is
yeah.
this is blatant corruption from
Yeah, it
the
wasn't me.
moderator
It would have been the
system
other.
team
It would have been.
and
been
the government. There should be
Probably
no
Drow.
mods in the government.
It was
No
probably
mods in
Drow.
the government, I tell you.
Okay, close your hole because we're gonna take a question.
You shut your hole.
Close your hole.
You're 24 playing Roblox.
How much older are you gonna say I am?
I don't know. I'm just gonna keep guessing.
Okay. Continue guessing.
21. Actually, no, you said
Can you
drinking's
repeat your
bad.
question,
So
Cooler, bro, there's a really loud guy next to you. He's making it hard to.
Like, you sound like a Cub Scout leader, bro.
He does happen to be a senator, so.
yeah,
take
I'm
that as
speaking
you
my
will.
truth. You just won't let me talk.
I do let you talk, but you're interrupting other people who want to ask you questions. That's everyone in the room, you know.
Sun is down.
Can we lower the cursor?
I want you to come with me.
I think that's a really good idea.
I'm coming now.
Right now it's 45
Oh,
days is what
my
I was told. I think a good idea to propose might be changing it to 30 or maybe 25 just as a starting point. I don't think that when it comes to this kind of oh, it's 30 not 45. Okay. Well then maybe we lower it to it depends on how many records you have. Okay. Yeah, I don't
even know. You don't even know. Why do you not know this? Why do you not know this?
Cooler, I think that's a really good idea to talk about lowering the rates. Comrade, stop it, please.
Large Titanic.
What do you think about taxes? What do I think about taxes? I have a feeling that you are talking on behalf of some of these people, which is okay.
Large Titanic.
Assuming, Rylan, I'm answering a Doors question right now. I'll get to you after. Okay? Can you wait?
No, I don't think so.
I don't want to have to keep talking to you like you're 7. All right?
I am 7.
You're not 7.
What?
Adore, I had great respect for taxes. He was a good friend of mine. I worked with him quite a lot. He focused quite a lot on the judicial sector of things.
Can someone get that monkey out of
Came to the Medina administration, he often carried the torch. That I did when it came to making things happen. So that is one thing that he did do. Unfortunately, he was. I don't remember exactly why he got blacklisted, but he did get blacklisted. By I believe it was Aaron that did blacklist him.
Sun is down, freezing cold,
but
that's how we already know. When it's here, my dog will probably go for Louis Bell. That's just all he know, he don't know nothing else. I tried to show.
I call it.
Huh?
What's your question? If you're patient, you get called on. See how this works.
I tried to show.
What are your thoughts on Travis Kebab?
Don't even ask me about Travis.
Dude, why?
Because I don't want to get into that. It's nasty.
Yeah, did you know the guy was me who sent those messages to? I'm telling you. Oh shit! Oh, it's a black man! Get him! Oh my god!
You can lie.
No, I ran and I walked around having fun with people, and you know, like had fun, and then they took a vote for me, so I'm just here. And now I'm gonna win governor. I'm winning governor.
Not right now, though.
Yes,
What?
sign my phone.
What'd you say?
You're not running for governor right now.
Why can't I?
This shit way too formal, y'all know I don't follow suit.
Yeah, on voter succession. Hey, this out. You are my lieutenant governor now. You are a very good man.
Okay, with your last days, that guy.
About to turn this function into treat me like I'm Uncle Luke.
Display name. Never mind.
Just a roof. She said, where we going? And I said the moon. We ain't even make it to the room. She thought it was the ocean. It's just a boom.
Yo, it's Exotic Farmers. Make sure to vote 306 Ryland for the next.
So and said, shorty face, Tommy out the blue. So and said,
What?
For a minute. Just
so
for
and
a minute.
said,
Bro, you already lost the crowd vote, bro. They're all on my side.
Okay.
Everybody play louder music. He can't stop all of us.
Thank you, everybody. If Rylan wants to deliver a statement, the stage is now his. Thank you all for your time.
All Jewish people will be evicted out of that stamp.